people of YouTube. Welcome to Taji's World of Books and welcome to another book recommendation video. Hi everyone, welcome back. And so it's time for me to do another book recommendation video, and this time I thought that I would do my brother's best friend. I know that there's a number of books out there on this subject. A lot of people have done some recommendations on this, so hopefully you'll find something new and interesting. Some books I've talked about before, some books I haven't. Again, I'm too lazy to pull the books off the shelf. I'm so sorry because everything is so tightly packed, and when I start pulling stuff off, it just messes with everything. So I'm just gonna stick them over here. Please forgive me, guys. Number one, I have talked about this book and this series many times before, so bear with me. This is Twisted Hearts. This is Cora Reilly. This is the spin-off from her Bound in Blood series. This is the Cora Chronicles. I love it because it is the third brother, Savio, and his story with Gemma. And Gemma has been in love with Savio since she was like, I don't know, a little girl. Since the first time she saw him, she was absolutely in love with him. Savio, I like Savio because in the Cora Chronicles, he sort of is like the carefree brother that doesn't take things too seriously and doesn't, you know, he doesn't take himself seriously, and he just wants to hook up. He wants to sleep with as many girls as possible, and his best friend is Diego, and Diego is Gemma's brother. And in the world of Mafia land, it is the brother's responsibility to ensure that these girls are virgin brides, that they're protected, that they are kept safe. And Diego knows how Savio is because Diego is exactly the same way. Like, Diego is like, he's a player too. So he's like, not happening, Gemma. So he does everything in his power to dissuade Gemma from trying to go after Savio. And through a series of events, if you haven't read the book, it's really good. So through a series of events, Savio agrees and says he's gonna marry Gemma. But this bastard, instead of once he commits to her and says he's gonna marry her, to stop playing the field and stop doing all that stuff, he doesn't do it. He is going to continue to be the asshole that he is, and he's going to continue to do what he does, and the engagement ring that he gives her is a piece of work. Like, he just is a piece of work. And Gemma is a saint because she's stuck in there with him, but when push comes to shove, does he really step up for her? And does he really step up and respect her and treat her in the way that he's supposed to? It takes him a long time to get there, but do they get there happily ever after? So let's say that this is a slow burn Mafia romance. It's an arranged marriage situation. It definitely is dual POVs. Do you get your HEA? Yes. Can you read this as a standalone? Yes. But I suggest that you read it as a part of the whole Cora Chronicles, and I have several videos on how to read these books in which order, so if you're interested, go and check it out. Okay. 2, I'm gonna try and not talk as long about every book because we're gonna be here forever and you guys just want the recommendations so that you can move on, so let's just go quickly. Book 2, or the second book that I'm going to recommend, is a series, and I'm going to suggest that you read Flow, Grip, and Still, that you read them in order. Flow is the prequel. You really need to read that to understand what's going on in Grip and why Bristol, I love that, Crystal, yes, let's just call him Crystal. Why Bristol feels the way that she does about Grip, because Grip does some stuff in Flow that really sets the tone. So this is Grip and Bristol's story. Grip is a rapper, and he is best friends with Bristol's brother. Bristol then becomes the manager for both the brother as well as Grip. It's a pining situation because Grip pines for Bristol. It is a interracial couple. This is Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan brought so much into this series, and I have to tell you, when you get to Still, because once they get their issues worked out, then it becomes not angst amongst the couple, but rather angst that is brought in from the outside that the couple has to overcome and oversee. And that third book broke me into pieces and then put me back together again. I am telling you that this book is the series is so worth it. It's been several years since I've read this, but I'm telling you, do not sleep on Kennedy Ryan with Flow, Grip, and Still. It is amazing, very well done. And it really is like you want to talk about couple goals? Grip and Gristle. That's Anyway, the third book that I'm going to recommend, 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. This is about Darcy and Tom. Tom is her brother Jamie's best friend. So Darcy and Jamie, okay, they inherit a house that they're going to fix up, right? But unbeknownst to Jamie, Tom and Darcy have a thing going on the side. And so there's lots of, you know, kind of crushing and, how would you say, like they're doing things, but they're sneaking around and things are going on behind Tom's back because Tom and Jamie are best friends, and so he's not gonna stand for that. I'm definitely gonna say that this is infatuation, that, you know, because when Tom and Jamie become best friends, like they're gonna, like, it's all about them rather. And that's why it's like 99% mine, because Tom and Jamie are like 99% mine. This is all us. And Darcy is like, nope, but the 1%, I'm gonna take that. That's all me. And so it's a contemporary, it's funny, it's cheeky. I think it was well done. It's cute, it's a fun read, it's easy. So if you're interested, go and check out 99% Mine, Sally Thorne. So the next book that I'm going to recommend is Be With Me. It's part of the Wait For You series from Jennifer Elle Armentrout. It is a new adult college age romance. I'm going to say that this is about Teresa, and Teresa has had a really rough year. She's been in love with her brother's best friend for as long as she can remember. She is a dancer and she's had a injury, and as a result of this injury she no longer is able to dance in quite the way that she's not able to dance anymore. And so she is pining for her brother's best friend. They start to encroach on a relationship, but then there's a lot of deceit and sneaking around and trying to hide it and keep it from him. This was written, Jennifer L. Armentrout wrote this as J. Lynn, and this is one of the first new adult romances that I read, and I absolutely loved it. I loved all the characters in this book. I thought it was really well done. I loved all the characters in their friend group, so the whole series like really comes together. There's a lot of tropes. There's trauma. There's like roofing at parties, etc. So there's a lot that's going on in there, and I thought it was really well done. So go and check it out. The fifth book that I'm going to recommend, again, I talk about multiple times, and this is The Chase. This is the spin-off series from the Off-Campus series. It's Briar U. This is a new adult series. It's about Colin Fitzgerald, which they call Fitz, and Summer De Laurentiis. Summer is Dean's sister. Summer sees Colin, and like right off the bat, she's like, all mine, all mine. And Dean is like, absolutely not, because not only are Colin and Dean like, they're teammates, but they also are really, really good friends. And so, and also Summer and Colin are very different. Like Summer is like a fashionista, and Colin is like a nerd, kind of like gamer type guy. And so he's like an egghead type guy, believe it or not, even considering the fact that he plays hockey. So it's a sports romance. And they also bring in some other tropes, which is some disability representation. And so I just thought it was a really sweet, and Colin has some answering to do to Dean, because when Dean finds out about the situation, Dean is like, what the hell is right? This is my sister. Like, you need to, no, that's not happening. And so there's that level of involvement there as well. Okay, Hideaway. It's a Devil's Night series. It's book 2. It's Kai and Bank's story. This is one of my first sort of forays into dark romance. I absolutely loved the Devil's Night series. Kai meets banks at the Pope Hotel. Nobody knows that his best friend Damon has a sister because Damon has hidden her from everyone. So I'm going to say Hideaway is a romantic suspense. It can be read as a standalone, but I don't recommend it. I recommend that you read it as a part of the whole Corrupt series and read them in order because there's a lot of time jumps and a lot of things that go on, and the story really unfolds with all the characters over time. And so to hear what really happens and how things unfold, you really should read everything together. And it's a great, great series. It's one of my favorites. So check it out. The next book I'm going to recommend is The Silver Swan. Ammo Jones. It's part of the Elite Kings Club. It's book 1 in the series. This is about Madison and Bishop. So let me say that like Madison Montgomery definitely comes from a background of money and power, but something happens, somebody commits an ultimate crime, and it's tainted Madison's name forever. She then goes to this new school. She meets the Elite Kings Club. Things start to unfold, secrets start to come out. This is a dark bully romance. I'm gonna say that you are gonna be in for the ride of your life. This is no damn joke. If you think that like the Devil's Night series is like takes you on a ride, this is gonna take you to the whole nother stratosphere. So that is The Silver Swan, and Ammo Jones writes a book and writes a dark romance like nobody else, and so go and check it out. The next book is Broken and Screwed, and that's by Tijan. And this is about Alexandra, and Alexandra's brother dies the night of graduation, and it changes everybody as a result of that. And it changes her attitude towards partying and towards being out and being social and all of that. The only person that she can really turn to is her brother's best friend. Let me just say that. And their story unfolds from there. This is a contemporary sports romance new adult. Really, really good. Go and check it out. Historical romance, number 9. It's The Girl with the Make-Believe Husband. This is the Rokesbys, book 2. So her brother Thomas, it's Cecilia Harcourt and Thomas. And so Thomas is injured. She finds out that Thomas is injured. So as a result, she has a couple of choices. She decides to go to the New World to kind of try to find him and see what happens. When she gets there, she encounters his best friend, Edward. And so it then becomes like a fake marriage. The problem I have with this book is that she lied to everybody throughout the story, even to Edward, because his memory is lost. But they're in the new colony, and so certain things have to happen because it's a historical period. It really is good, but there are problematic parts of it. If you like historical romances, if you like the Bridgertons, this is a spin-off from the Bridgertons in that this is like, the Rokesbys are really close friends with the Bridgertons, and so go and check it out. The number 10 that I'm going to recommend is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And Tate Collins meets Miles Archer, and Miles is best friends with Tate's brother. She meets him, I think, if I remember correctly, she like moves in with her brother. Right, she moves in with her brother, and Miles is like passed out drunk, like on the doorstep. And so she calls her brother. She's like, "Who is this dude?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, that's Miles. He's like a pilot, just like I am. Let him in." And so they're instantly attracted to one another, and the relationship ensues from there. I think that the main thing is that they decide that they're going to just be hooking up. And what happens when you decide, "I'm just going to hook up with no feelings attached"? It never happens. It's always feelings, always develop as a result. And that's exactly what happens. And their story sort of unfolds from there. There's a lot of pain, a lot of feelings like, I have a history, I have a past, and I'm trying to hide my past. I'm trying to hide it from you, and I'm trying to hide myself. I'm hiding myself from my past because I don't want to confront it. I don't want to deal with it because it's so painful. So I've just decided I'm never going to love anybody as a result. It's really, really good. Colleen Hoover really does a good job, I have to say, hands down, with writing a story and writing an emotionally angsty story. And so if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. And then the last book that I'm going to recommend is Fixer Up, Tessa Bailey. And this is Georgie and Travis's story. And Travis is a Major League Baseball player, and he basically is suffering from an injury that basically ended his career. And so he's dealing with that. And Georgie is never really been taken seriously by her family, and she, you know, she's a face painter, and she dresses up as a clown, and she goes to like children's parties, and she wants to be taken seriously, and she wants to date, and she wants to love, and she wants to have relationships, but all of which she's never had. So they sort of, and she's the little sister of Travis's best friend. And so Travis doesn't take her seriously, and she's absolutely in love with Travis and wants to have a relationship with him. And so through a series of successive events, they embark on a fake dating situation, which obviously turns into a real situation, but they're hiding it from everyone. And I gotta say that there are some hot, steamy scenes in this book, for sure, between Travis and Georgie. I absolutely love it. It's a Hot and Hammered series. All the books in the series are amazing. You get to continue on with all the characters and see what's happening to them. And I feel like it is a contemporary sports romance that I think you'll absolutely love and adore. So if you haven't checked it out, you probably should. And so, you guys, that is 11 recommendations that I have given you for my best friend's brother. And we all know that's a no-no, because the brothers don't want us hooking up with their best friends. And those guys are oftentimes the most appealing because we've grown up seeing them our whole lives, and they are gorgeous, 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 and we just want them. Okay, so that is all that I have to say for today. You guys know that I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so please come and hang out with me, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.